Morning, everybody. 8:25 a.m., December 9th. Um, we got PPI coming. All right, so we're gonna wait for that. See how that news can affect this market. Right now, I could tell you the market doesn't care because usually the market will be in a small range, and it's not. It's not like looks like it's not look. It doesn't look like it's waiting for anything, but obviously anything can happen. So let's go over. I'm gonna go over to the calendar. There's some news that came out too, so we're gonna wait and see. All right, so we have core PPI coming out. Michigan consumer expectations, Michigan consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. would be a little tough to be in a trade because that could like rip your trade apart at 10 a.m. So be careful of that. Um, what else can we look at in the meantime? All right, let's look at the watch list. We got a little bit of time. All right, what we got going? VIX up 1.97%, maybe anticipating a little PPI, right? Crude's up 1.29%. Let's see, Nasdaq's up 0.64%, ES 0.52%, the Russell's up 0.39, the Dow's up 0.36, Bitcoin's up 0.20, and bonds being bought a little bit, hence the 10-year yield down slightly, down 0.63, dollar down 0.14, basically flat, right? Let's go over some leaders and laggards. Netflix got an upgrade, I think from price of 300 to 400, so it's up 2.75%. Snow, it's up. Boeing, Tesla's up. Let me see why that. Anything happened? News? Oops, sorry. Anything? Let's see if anything's newsworthy here. Having a terrible week. It's down to the conflict. Okay. Okay. Boeing and okay. Let's see any laggards. Coin, and I saw coin got a downgrade today, so that's probably why that is a laggard. Qualcomm. I did see Broadcom got some good forward guidance, so let's see. Disney, all right, that's not. I mean, it's up 0.57%. Roblox, okay. Laggard, Costco. Costco had earnings, but slightly down. Not much to note there. Sectors wise, leaders semiconductors, followed by technology, followed by communications, which is Netflix, and there's really no laggard. Really no laggard, right? So that's that. Um, you got PPI coming out in about a little more than a minute. A couple things that happened is China had some good inflation news, so that's pretty good. Um, and then there's not much else to report. I mean, yesterday was kind of like a range bound day, so I'm gonna click over to this news, and then I'm gonna bring up the hourly chart of the ES so we can see the reaction to the news. Okay, so what are we expecting? We're expecting point two for the core PPI and the PPI. That's what we're expecting, which would actually be higher month over month, the forecast, than what the previous number was at zero for the core. And they're expecting no change for the PPI. There's point two. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a soft number, maybe zero again, and see if the market likes it, which it probably will. All right. Got about 7 seconds. All right. Let's see. Boom. Numbers out. Oh, not good. Not good numbers. Higher. There it goes. Now let's look at the market here. There we go. Just took back all that bullishness. It's taken it back pretty decisively. Okay, just like that. Now ripped up. Pretty volatile right now. So everybody just got crushed from the overnights. And if you're waking up today and you had a long position yesterday, you're not going to be happy. So what does that mean, right? Because we still got a big number for CPI coming out on December 13th. So if producer price index is higher, okay, point 0.2 higher on core, point 0.1 on PPI, okay. All right. So this level does not matter. This demand zone just got blown apart. All right. So just seeing where this is going. Now, I knew better than this, but I was seeing pre-market that this rising wedge, which I don't do a lot of, but it definitely is a rising wedge that had a lot of resistance. You saw this was moving up, right? And you see this trend was holding, right? And this just means momentum's getting losing momentum in this move. And the PPI, I didn't know if it was going to be a market mover or not. This, I wasn't expecting the numbers to be hotter, right? So I was expecting this to break today, and there's a trend line coming down here, and I was expecting this to break it. Well, now we broke it. So, but technical analysis is always trumped by fundamental news catalysts. So that's what I was eyeing this morning. I didn't know because usually the market's very small range for a PPI or any kind of news coming out, right? It usually kind of like, all right, we're not moving much, and then you wait for this, but the market was actually moving higher. Well, that's gone. That changed pretty quickly. So now the makeup of the market's totally different. Okay, if we just look at the watch list now, we have look at this. Look at this flip. Dow down 0.46, down the ES down 0.54, Nasdaq down 0.62, and the Russell down 0.77, right? And also notice this: the TNX just rose. So now bonds are being sold. 10-year yields rising. VIX is up even higher, right? Dollar is up, just like that. Now this could turn out to be a nothing burger, meaning that I think the move is over as far as long, right? Because what I'm seeing now is I was mentioning to a friend of mine, Rosita, this morning that like there could be a rug pull or some kind of bull trap. Okay, and because this most traded price of the year is a magnet. Okay, and I don't think the market's gonna do nothing too much away from this until December 13th and 14th. So that's why I thought this long didn't have much to it. And now look, PPI came out and rebalanced it. And where are we at now, right? Price is right here, right at the most traded price of the month. That's why these are magnets, okay? I don't I'm only gonna I'm only gonna preach what I see that works. And I see these work constantly. I see that just works. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to study a chart. It's right here. Okay. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. How that looks. All right. Let me get a little better zoom in here. So the Nasdaq had that rising wedge too. See, and it hit resistance on it. Doesn't matter. The news came out, so looks like it's beautiful now. The rising wedge got killed, and this trend line, right? It actually broke this trend line, but now where are we, folks? This is the Nasdaq. Can't make this up. Can't make it up, right? Most traded price of the year, right here. Worst price, right here. Most traded price of the month, right here. Most traded price of the week is right here. We're waiting, guys. We're waiting. I could have went on vacation, came back and said, "Oh, we're right back at the most traded price of the year, in the month, and the week." Oh, so how shocking, right? How shocking, but it's not, because I see this all the time. So now, let me get rid of this levels too. These levels don't matter. Right. All right. So what we do have though is we have a scene of the crime now. Okay. I'm gonna show you. I might as well plot a supply zone because I see it. So I'm gonna take this zone. I'm gonna copy it. Let me go right here. Let me go right here. Now that's a supply zone. And that's the scene of the crime from this PPI number. And this is how I set my alert. So I'll call it supply, and this is the 17th supply zone. And then I set an alert. I put a timer on it for every 5 seconds. If it goes back and in and out of the zone, and then I have a template that gives me my own voice of telling me when it hits a supply zone. So that's a supply zone for the Nasdaq. So there we go. So now there's a supply zone there. The scene of the crime. All right. I'm going to do the same in the ES now. You can see the same thing I'll do right here. Okay, let's take this supply zone, copy paste it. I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this here to the high, move this to the open of the previous candle, set an alert. I'll call this demand. Oop. Demand, and what number is this? This is demand number 6. Put it on a timer. Getting the, this is usually all in the mornings, pre-market, what I'm doing. And this is supply zone for the ES. And then I save it. So that's a very key moment there in the market for the PPI. All right. So you guys got some inside look there how I do a supply zone. All right. So let's look at some other stuff here. All right. So now that we have that number, which just tore down all the longs. Okay, let's look at this daily chart. All right. Obviously, that just came into play. So we have this trend line here that's formed. All right. We have a support here that's formed at the 100-day moving average. That's where we're at right now. Believe it or not, we're right here. All right, you can see here. There's the PPI. Look where we came down to the very support level 39.3. We came right down to it, right? Now we kind of have another support here. Right? 390 is the last leg. Okay, so I'm probably gonna put a support right here. Right there. So 391.64 is another one I'm going to look at. So we have three: 393, 391, 390. Okay, those are what we got to look at in the SPY today. Okay, let's look at. Actually, let's look at the weeklies just to see where we're at. Now, look, weeklies show you, oh, all right, we're just bouncing around, right? Not much to look at here. Let's go to the Qs. Those Qs, oh man, crude's making a move that I didn't want it to do yet. All right, so let's look at Qs. All right, here's Qs, very important support line, 280.88. So let's see where Qs are at. Okay, so here's that support. Now I see another support I wanna put into play here, right here. Those 278.9 will be our last leg of defense. Now we came down here, right? But here's the most traded price right here, 281, right? And I know I always show most traded prices in the futures, but I can show you here just to show you in the SPY and the Qs, okay, how we also can see that. Okay, so all right, so just to show you guys that here's the most traded price. This is a year. This is a year ago. Okay, here it is. 280, around 282 is the most traded price of the year. This tells you right here, right in TOS, right in Thinkorswim, and price is right here. So that's where, just to show you in SPY, that's where we're at, right? You want to look at the SPY, most traded price of the year is right here. Look at the profile, biggest volume right here, right? That's where the price is. So you can see it right on TOS. I just, and then when I go back and we look at the 30 days, most traded price right here, right? And then this is this week's most traded price right here. So just to show you guys in SPY and Qs, okay? Let's go to my triple headed monster. Let's check in with that. Okay, let me take this off. All right, let's go to the TNX. TNX. Let's see here. TNX is in range, right? Hasn't showed its hand yet. We're still falling down. Hasn't shown its hand yet, though. Okay, a little bit, a little bit. I mean, PPI was a little hotter today, so but CPI is the important one in FOMC. Okay, so this isn't showing us yet because this is leading indicator. Okay, let's go with that VIX. VIX is in a range in the last couple days. Okay, dollar's in a range. Okay, still in a downtrend. All right, let's move on. Let's go to. I apologize for this. Let me give you my watch list so you can see that for a sec. So I'm going to change charts here. We're going to go into the market profile for the ES. All right. Okay, let's see what is going on. I'm going to make this bigger. Maybe we can see. Here we go. Let's see here. I'm going to expand this so you guys can see that in the market profile. I was explaining to one of my friends, Rosa, because you guys don't see it blown up like this a lot because I want to see everything, but I can show you this because of this range now. Okay, real quick, this is the session now. Price, let's see, let's get price up here. Okay, price is this little dot right here. It's 39.46. Okay, now there's our friend, and I know Rosita, if she's listening, single prints are right here. There's single prints. Okay, that's emotional selling in this case from PPI. Okay, so you could see in this particular plugin I have for market profile, it will get rid of these boxes. You can see it right now. It's cleaning them. So the emotional selling that happened, it's these boxes will go away as the market moves higher because single prints are always there, only there when it's a one-way market. See, they're starting to get cleaned as I speak. That's when I say cleaning is getting rid of these boxes. Okay, so let's look at the market. And really quickly, I can show you. This is the overnight. Okay, but I'm going to show you yesterday session. And really quickly, nah, that's not going to be good. That's not going to do a good job. I wanted to show you, but all I wanted to really show you was in market profile, every TPO they call it, every period is labeled with a letter. Okay, it's labeled with a letter, and every TPO is 30 minutes. It's a 30-minute candle. So here's the overnight, right? If I split it out, see? Every period is 30 minutes bars. So just 30-minute bars. That's how, when they split it out like that, that's all they are. It's 30-minute bars. But when you put it all together, it makes a profile. See? There we go. All right. So let's look at the markets. Let's look at the markets. Let's look at the markets. All right. So obviously PPI came in, and actually we have a poor high here in the market profile. So we have news. Here's the high of yesterday. Here's the low of yesterday. Okay. Here's our price now. We're in the middle of yesterday's range. Okay. And we're just in the middle of the muddle. We are. It's just most traded price of the year is here. The most traded price of the month is here. Okay. Most traded price of the week is here. This is a very choppy zone to be in. This is Chop City. All this is Chop City. We need to get out of that. And I don't think we really do a great job of getting out of that until next week. This just brought us back into this range of this chop zone. Okay. Let's look at the NASDAQ. All right. NASDAQ, price is right here. 115.96. Where is that? Most traded price of the month. Most traded price of the week. Most traded price of the year. Chop zone. Woo! Especially here. Okay. We tried to go up here. PPI slapped us back down into this range. Okay. It's important to note if somebody was long, and obviously in stocks, okay, and their position, because we closed here in the market. Okay. So if you had an equity right now and you were long, remember you can't do anything. Well, you can do something now at 8:30 at extended hours, but if you have options on or something, whatever, you're underwater. You're underwater. You're waking up and the market is down. Okay, so that's important to note. You always got to try to figure out what people's where people's pain are. Okay, so we got the overnight high, overnight low. Yesterday's high, right there. Yesterday's low. But price is in the middle of yesterday. Price is right in the middle of this crap. That is, we're probably gonna jet out of it, and I would most likely say right now we could have a pop up and go right through back down. But I don't know. We're right in this crap. I mean, this is just crazy. This is the most traded price of the year, month, week. It is just a traffic jam. Okay, so all right, let's go over to hourly charts. Hit you with my watch list while I change screens. Let's bring up the ES here. There's not much I'm going to probably be able to tell you just from the hourly chart because everything's been just whipped apart. We were already here. Okay, real quickly. We have a double top here now, up here. Okay, all these supports were broken. But stay on this chart, right? Most traded price of the year in a month right here. So price is right here. So not much edge to say, right? We have 39.13 as support, and I'd say the double top here. This was the resistance line 39.82, but this double top now about 39.90 would act as a resistance, right? And a bunch in here is just chop city, and that's where we're at. Okay. Now let's go to the Nasdaq very quickly, and it's going to be the same scenario. Okay, so we don't have a double top like that, but we do. It did. This did actually respect this resistance line, 117.45. So we did sell from here, which was already a previous support. Now turn resistance. Okay, we blew through this resistance line, so now we're here. But look, middle of the muddle. Most traded price, week, day, year, all right there. So that's not. That's an area that's just going to be cause congestion. Okay, and we ripped through this support, so that ripped support, but we have some last legs of defense, 114.79, we have 114.24. Okay, now we're gonna look at profile. Let's make this smaller now. And this didn't matter anymore. I'm just gonna get rid of this to clean some of this up because these don't matter anymore. 37. All right, so what I'm gonna say is gonna be very easy, and this is very hard to really give too many scenarios here just because of what happened with PPI. It just destroyed longs for me overnight. Okay, we're at a really choppy situation here. All right, and what I believe should happen today is you just have to look at this. This area is congestion. We need to visit outside of it. Okay, and if we do, can we go to the 39.13? Okay, can we go back to the overnight highs? If we stay in here, that's what we're going to do. Now, we could also come up down to the lows of yesterday and come in here and get in this noise. We also could come up to the highs, try to poke, come down in here and balance Friday, and the rest of the day has low volume, and we kind of balance off, waiting for next week. Okay, that's the same thing I'm gonna say for the Nasdaq. We're in this nightmare chop zone. You're in the most traded price of the year, week, month. It is just gonna play games. It's gonna fake you out. You need to leave this zone. That's what I'm saying. If we leave it, then maybe you take a long, you hit the highs of yesterday, and maybe go for the high of the overnight, right? You go short from this area. You got single prints here. Um, you have emotional buying from yesterday. So that goes for the yes for the ES too. Okay, you do have single prints here, right here. Okay, so if we do, remember the people who have stock aren't hurt yet. So if we start to pump through here, we could move through these single prints and visit the lows, right? And then we could bounce and balance. Okay, that's what I see. Probably the most likely. Weaker we break down. But that we're gonna go this way and probably come back in, or this way and go higher. I don't see higher or very lower, just because we're gonna wait. No big moves gonna happen unless some catalyst comes out. Okay. All right. So that will be it for me today. Right. I wish everybody have a good weekend. Give me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I hope everybody is green today. Um, I'm gonna go look at crude now, and I will be back on Monday. All right, and I'll update later if there's anything important to note. But today, Fridays, usually after one, is just garbage. But all right, everybody, later.